Welcome back to the Blade Lab. Today I'm going to be testing two budget E steels. Idea with this test is basically to compare sort of the old school former sort of basic budget steel, which was D2 steel, versus what's I think now kind of becoming the preferred budget or sort of mid-range steel, which is 14C28N. See which one has better edge retention. We would expect the D2 to do slightly better at edge retention. We know that the 14C28N is known to have better toughness than D2, so it will be generally more chip resistant. However, I just want to see what the practical difference is in terms of the edge retention, so you can decide how much you care about chip resistance, how much you're willing to give away to get more edge retention, blah, blah, blah. So the D2 knife is the Beg Knives, it's their budget version of the Bodega, which started out life as a custom knife. I'm just not thinking well today. Started out life as a custom knife, and then there was a production, sort of a more premium production version of the Bodega, which I believe was manufactured by Riot. This is a less expensive version that is manufactured in China, but I don't know who the OEM is on this one. It's a nice knife though. Still, it has a great action. That's not what this is about. However, it's not what a lot of people would actually call a budget knife. I think it's a little over $100, maybe like $110. So that's a topic for another video. The other contestant here is a Devo Knives Mash, which is the version 1. This is in 14C28, obviously, which I think you'll be able to see here, hopefully. Yeah. D2 is actually not marked on the blade of the Beg knife, but trust me, it is D2. So let's... Oh, the other thing about the Bodega is that LTK, Love Them Knives, of YouTube fame, has been doing some hardness testing, or sending knives out to be hardness tested, and he had one of these and he sent it out and it came in at I believe it was 62.1 HRC, which is a real good score for D2. So I'm hoping that this one is similar hardness and will perform well. I do not know what the HRC is on the Devo, but probably in the 58 to 60 range would be my guess. If I didn't mention, this is OEM'd by Kubi. So let's see how sharp they are to begin with. They have both been sharpened recently. They should be similarly sharp. So let's just test it out. Yeah, I'm at your way mostly. So the mash, the Kubi in 14C20N came in at 95 grams on the best tester, and the Beg Knives Bodega will come in at 90 grams on the best tester. So, whoops, darn. They are both sharp. Let's see, I know some people don't have if you don't have one of these machines, you probably don't have a great sense of what those scores mean, but other than what I'm telling you. So this is a cigarette paper, bag knife, slice evenly in half, and of course being roughly the equivalent in sharpness. Oops. Might have a little, that's interesting. Let's get a fresh sheet here. I wonder if there's a little ding on that blade. I've used it for previous testing, so it's possible that it could have something in there. Well, all right, doesn't cut quite as well, but anyway, if you can cut a cigarette paper at all, it's pretty sharp. So what we're going to do the rope, and we're going to do some this interesting cardboard material that I have, and then we'll test them afterwards and see how they did. Each one will get, let's say, 30 cuts of the half-inch manila rope. And I'm going to speed up the testing, and let's get going. Okay, so observations. D2, the bodega seemed to cut the rope easier. The mash was easier to cut the cardboard, but I think that may be in part just because the blade shape is more suited to it because there's less belly involved. But let's see what the actual test results show. So I will start with this one. I'm going to try to measure it right in this area where most of the cutting was happening. It's a little hard to do just because of the way the best tester is, but we'll see. Let's see what we can do here. Where am I? Yeah, perfect. $385, so that's not great. That's bordering on, I think, where the best chart says the edge is in need of maintenance. I would say I would put a much lower number on it, but you know, I'm kind of anal about edges, so I'm going to do one more just for confirmation. And that one came in at $295, so that's quite a bit better. Though still not great, to be honest. And let's check the D2 on the Big Bodega. It's kind of fun to say that. Big Bodega. Nope. Okay. Same thing. I'm going to try to hit it. I'm going to try to hit this one sort of at the peak of the belly where most of the cutting was going on. And that should do it. And that came in at $285. So very slightly better than the second 14C28N reading. Let's try one more. We'll go a little bit higher. On the blade, I should say. And that one is 240. So, this sort of confirms for us that the D2 had slightly better edge retention, which is what we would have expected, and the 14C28N wasn't outrageously far behind. Let's just get some paper out here. Do a little paper cut test just because we can. So this is the Bodega. Yeah. This is hard paper to cut. Very thin U-line catalog paper. And it's definitely hanging up there. All right. So let's compare that to this one. Also hanging up. But it seems like if you get past that spot, there's still edge. As far as chipping, I wouldn't expect any. We didn't do a lot of impact, but I don't feel any on my fingernail. On either knife. So I guess that should be about it. We could do a quick strop just to see how they come back, but let me get a suitably aggressive strop out here. Yeah, this is going to be should have something a little coarser, but this is a 3 micron diamond gunny juice. Well, yeah, let's do a couple back, one side each. We'll hit this one. You would kind of expect the 14C28N to strop back a little more easily just because it's probably softer and also not as wear resistant, but we'll see. Obviously this is not that reliable a test because it also depends on how good a job I am doing of stropping it, so which is why I often in these tests will do it on the Ken Onion, which is sort of less variable, I think, but this is what I'm doing this time, so that's it. That's the way it is. So let's see where that got us with this one. 145, so that's a pretty big improvement. More, I can tell you that spending another 5 or so minutes dropping, I'm sure I could get it back down to shaving sharp. And let's do this one. $135. So yeah, actually the D2 came back very slightly better, and both of them dropped back up pretty darn easily. So yep, that's our conclusion for today. D2 has edge retention slightly in excess of 14C28N, which is about what we expected. So if you enjoy this sort of useless test, please come back and like and subscribe the video, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one.